There is a silence that is different from all other silences in the world. Not the silence of a quiet evening, when the city calms down and sleeps. A silence that eats its way into the room, heavy, almost tangible. The silence that arises when a little being no longer fills this house. If you know this, then you know exactly what I am talking about today. In the first hours after the death of a cat, something strange happens to us. Things that feel foreign, that can frighten us, and yet are completely normal. I will take you into these hours today, step by step, honestly. You will take away 3 things that you have never heard like this before. And one realization from this will forever change how you look at grief. Have you ever wondered why this silence feels so completely different? Why it isn't just silence, but an absence that you can almost hear? The answer lies in what your brain has built up over years. An inner model of your house, with sounds, movements, and a certain warmth. And when this model no longer matches reality, a gap is created. This gap is called silence, but it is actually much more than that. The first hours after the loss begin with numbness for many people. Not pain, not tears, just numbness, as if a switch had been flipped. You walk through the apartment as usual, make tea, but everything is unreal. This is because your brain activates a protective mechanism that psychologists call dissociation. It slightly separates you from the emotional impact of what just happened. Not because you are cold, but because your system wants to protect you. This mechanism is incredibly precise. It paces the pain into tolerable amounts. Sometimes this feels guilty. Am not even crying, did I love? Yes, you loved. And that is exactly why your brain is protecting you from it right now. In the first 2 hours, many people experience something that really frightens them. They search, not consciously, not intentionally, but the brain searches anyway. You walk into the kitchen and automatically look at the food bowl, but you know. The brain has learned for years, kitchen equals food bowl equals cat, always, daily. It carries out this sequence anyway, because habit pathways are dug so deeply. Scientists call this automated behavioral loops. They can persist for months. And every time such a loop runs into nothing, a pain hits you. This pain has a name in grief literature, a grief burst. It comes without warning, hits you right in the middle of cooking or showering. And it passes again, until the next time, which also comes without warning. This is completely normal in these first hours and days after the loss. Here is something that hardly anyone knows because nobody talks about it openly. In the first hours, the perception of space changes in a noticeable way. The home feels bigger than before, as if the cat had filled it. That sounds strange, but is psychologically very well documented in research. Living beings structure our perception of spaces in an invisible, deep way. A cat on the couch makes the couch a place, something meaningful. Without her, it is just furniture, wood and fabric without living meaning in it. And when this structuring element is missing, we perceive the space as empty and foreign. Not because it has become bigger, but because it lacks meaning. That explains why so many say, the apartment feels strange, even though everything is in its place. Everything is in its place, but the person who gave this place meaning has left. Now I want to talk about what often happens in the fourth hour. The first real crash, not the numbness of the initial phase, but the breaking through. It usually comes in an unexpected place, not at the food bowl or sleeping spot. A sock with cat hair stuck to it, a photo you accidentally open. The smell of her favorite blanket, which you do not yet recognize as past, not consciously. And in this moment, the first big wave comes and hits you unprepared. Researchers have found out This first real baptism of waves occurs 4 to 6 hours in. Not immediately. The body needs time until the protective mechanism subsides for a moment. And when reality fully arrives, the world briefly feels like it has stopped. No, you are never ready for this moment, but you bear it anyway. I want to tell you about a phenomenon called perimortem bonding. It describes what happens inside us in the final phase of a cat's life. In the last weeks before death, the bond almost always intensifies. We spend more time, pay more attention to every breath, every movement and reaction. The brain stores this phase in a particularly deep neural network. This means the last moments with your cat are stored exceptionally clearly. This clarity shows you were there, you were present, she was not alone. But the brain keeps returning to these last images, searching for an ending. It searches for the conclusion of a story that we loved so much. This is not trauma. This is the brain trying to process the unfinished. Between the first and second hour, psychologists often observe an urge to act. Some immediately clean up the cat corner, not out of coldness, but because action numbs. Others cannot move a single item. Everything stays in the same place for months. Both reactions are completely normal. Both are expressions of the same deep affection. There is no right way to grieve. There is only your own way. But here comes something that many people don't know and that I want to tell you. In the first 24 hours, you should not make any big decisions about her things. Give yourself time. No food bowl needs to be put away today. No basket needs to go. Your home was her home, and it is allowed to remain hers for a while. Now I want to talk about something that is rarely discussed: physical symptoms. Many report nausea, a pressure on the chest, a tingling in the hands. Some describe that the air is taken out of the room, a real feeling of breathlessness. This is because emotional and physical pain use the same brain regions. The insula and the anterior cingulate cortex do not distinguish between a broken finger and a broken heart. Your body mourns with you, not metaphorically, but literally on a cellular level. Therefore, it is right to listen to your body and support it. Drink water, sit down, breathe deeply, not because that takes away the pain, but because your body is working right now and deserves real support. There is a moment in these first hours that most describe but do not understand. A moment when the pain briefly subsides because the brain is exhausted. And in this pause, you just sit there and remember her. Not the pain, her, a concrete image, a moment. The first time she purred, the way she jumped on your lap, the little sound she made when she spotted you from another room. There is something healing in this memory. Neuroscience calls it intrinsic processing. The brain uses quiet moments to anchor memories firmly and deeply. In these silent moments between the waves, your brain is working. It preserves them. It preserves them so they are not lost, so they always remain accessible within you. At the end of the first long hours, when night falls and it gets dark, one question remains, quiet, persistent, through all layers of pain. Is she okay, wherever she is now, in this moment? No one can answer this question with certainty, neither science, nor philosophy, nor religion. But here is what I can say: she knew no fear with you. She knew warmth. She knew your voice, your smell, your hands, and their warmth. If there is a life after, she takes exactly that with her, as her home. If you can't sleep tonight and toss and turn in bed, know this. This is absolutely no weakness, but the honest price for a real, deep love. Every sleepless night is a silent reverence to what you had together. Tomorrow the silence will still be there, but it will feel completely different. Not better, not worse, different, because you spent a night with it. Grief is not a problem to solve. Grief is a path to walk. On this path, you are not alone, even if it feels like it at night. There are millions of people who have gone through exactly what you are going through right now. People who have arrived on the other side of this silence, strengthened and transformed. And you will arrive, with her in your heart, firm, imperishable, and warm. What was truly loved is never really lost. It only transforms into presence. This presence, this quiet, invisible, completely real presence, will accompany you. Tonight, tomorrow morning, and on all the days that will follow for you. Tell me, what did you really feel in the first hours after the loss? No feeling is too small or too strange. We are together on this journey.